Season's greetings and welcome to Two Balls and a Mic. Brand new spanking episode here. Talking about spanking. San Diego's soccer teams get spanked over the weekend. San Diego Wave losing 2-1 in a match that was stolen, according to Casey Stoney. We're going to go ahead and get into all of that with OL Reign. San Diego Loyal also lose on the road. It's going to be a 2-1 against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. San Diego Loyal now looking the best, starting this long road trip. We're also going to talk about a little bit about the UPSL SoCal South Premier Division Championship victory for your girlfriend's favorite soccer team, San Diego Internacional. Not just what that means for them, but what it means for soccer in general in San Diego, local soccer in the national landscape. We're also going to talk a Lamborghini Gold Cup action. Mexico is back. Nothing ever happened. It's the biggest giant in CONCACAF. What is the Nations League? Nothing. Mexico winning 4-0 against Honduras. And guess what?
What's up?
The U.S. tied against Jamaica.
Yeah, that was big.
Yeah.
Are we on Wi-Fi or are we just making sure?
Yeah, we are.
We'll be good on Wi-Fi? Probably not.
Yeah, I should probably go. You should probably explain what you just went through, because you set up this beautiful studio. Every weekend we tear it down.
Dope haircut, Tony, says Esteban.
Oh, Esteban Toscano, Season's greetings. Still got to link up with that. Not as dope as it should be. Here, let me go fix it.
Yeah, it might cut out a little bit right now, guys. This is what happened. I show up on time, get ready, prep, everything, like always. Garage was unlocked, thankfully. I come in, I set everything up. Call Tony, doesn't answer. Text, doesn't answer. I'm like, this motherfucker's asleep. I already know this guy. Call again, FaceTime, no answer. I'm like, oh shit. I'm about to do a solo episode then, because I'm not about to go knock in his house, bother his family, to go wake him up. That's not what we're about to do here. Either he's ready or not. The show goes on, right? Say he would do the same thing with me. If I don't show up, he'll do a solo episode, and he's done it probably before once. He invited someone. But yeah, he was asleep. That's why his hair doesn't look as clean as it should. But yeah, that's what happened. I was stressing out here. But we are going to get into it right now, since he woke up literally 10 minutes before we had to go live. Internet wasn't ready, wired connection, so he's probably going to wire that up. It might cut out for a little bit. Then we'll be right back. Don't mind the flag moving. It is getting hot. We have a fan in here. But yeah, so Tony fell asleep, woke up, fixing the internet. If it's a little choppy, apologies. But we are going to get to talking about San Diego Wave, San Diego Inter being champion, San Diego Loyal. We did a Viva Match Day on Twitter Spaces again. It's pretty dope. The result wasn't as dope, but yeah. Anything else, Tony? We'll be getting back right now, fixing the internet. Let me know in the comments. Should there be a consequence for him waking up this late? Let me know, because I think there should be. Had that been me, this man would have just kill me. So that's what it is. We'll talk about Mexico and the Gold Cup, La Lamborghini. Like Tony said, I'm hopping on that bandwagon. Jimmy Lozano is the coach that I've always wanted. Oh, look, there's Tony waving, as he should be in here recording, doing an episode with me instead of doing who knows what. The man is back with the wired connection, running like a gazelle, agile like a gymnast. Everything's plugged in now.
Hopefully.
I'm so annoyed at you today.
I know you are. You know what?
I'm so annoyed at you today.
This is what happens when you have the studio in your garage.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, so the haircut's fixed.
The haircut's fixed. ¿Te bañaste o qué, güey? Yeah. Se bañó.
Fastest shower you'll ever meet in the West.
I believe we're still on Wi-Fi. I'm not sure if you fixed that or your hair. Or both. Let's find out.
Oh, there it is, boy. I think we lost it. Oh, my hair's even worse. Haircut.
We're good on internet?
Yeah, we should.
Okay.
Season's greetings.
Oh, dope.
Haircut brought to you in part by Freshly Faded. So,
San Diego Loyal.
I had a wedding to go to on last Thursday. and I got a suit. Bought a suit. Not the most pleasurable experience, but I was like, you know what? I need a haircut.
People are saying 15 push-ups for waking up late.
50. Okay, first of all, who are people, plural?
Esteban Toscano said 15 push-ups.
Okay. You got it. On the way, bro.
How was the wedding? Fun?
It doesn't matter. The weight doesn't matter. The haircut,
How was getting
though.
the suit, the haircut?
The suit by la madre, but it's by Shaq
That's
at
what's up.
JCPenney. Shaq
That's
has his
what's up.
own
Yeah,
line of shit.
Yes, he does. For big boys.
It's for big men, like
Big
you.
man like you, yeah.
Um,
How was the haircut? You tweeted best haircut experience of your life. Now, was that true?
Yeah, so I went over and I'm like, you know what? San Diego Loyal's doing this thing with black-owned businesses. $1,000 for each of these black-owned businesses, a kitchen, a record store, and freshly faded, a barbershop. Tienes boy, you should have taken a nap, boy.
I was
Soy
out here.
El boy
I was out here working with you.
But freshly faded was one of them. I go in and I'm like, hey guys, I go in with my San Diego Loyal jersey, you know, just in case. But yeah, I mean, they were like, yeah, come on, sit down. Real cool guy. Real cool
What'd you tell
situation.
him? Like,
Fix this shit.
Is that really what you say, though?
This is like just 2. Oh, I got you. And then they're the artists. Like
yeah, for sure. I think they like that. Barbers really like that. Where you're like, hey, just do whatever you want, fix it.
fuck my shit up.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, props to San Diego Loyal for doing that, right? Just I know the tweeted just put it on San Diego Loyal.
Yeah. So
Whether
put it
was a
on the
record store,
tab.
put it on the tab for them.
So
So
I
a free
mean,
haircut essentially.
yeah, it was
That's
a
what's up.
free haircut
I know you love
courtesy
free
of
stuff.
San Diego.
You love free stuff.
You
If
really
you guys know
do.
one thing about Tony, he loves
I
free
love
stuff.
Free shit. I can't pass up a deal and offer up. But
This is waiting for a clean. Last season, he was waiting for clean sheets for San Diego Loyal for a Soapy Joe's car wash.
my Soapy Joe car wash from this year from being
San Diego
at
Wave,
San Diego
right?
Snapdragon
Yeah.
has not come in.
Oh,
It came in, but it came in late. And then
damn.
Um,
Lost my car this weekend too. Hopefully, it doesn't rain anytime soon. It's starting to get hot.
It is starting to get hot here in San Diego. Somebody who's not hot though are the San Diego soccer teams.
Oof.
We'll start again with just San Diego's UPSL soccer team. So UPSL is a league, lower division league here in the in the States.
It's a nationwide league, though.
league.
It's a big nationwide league. A lot of these players sometimes catch a break and go play in the USL, go play in Mexico and stuff like that. So it is a high level, semi-professional, if you call it, soccer league.
Yeah.
Amateurs league still, but it's still high level. It's all the players that really are like, I could have gone pro, but my knee messed up. Stuff like that. So there are really good players. I mean,
So me.
we have Mark Cruz from San Diego Loyal, who got a tryout for Juarez, Ciudad Juarez over in Liga MX.
So this guy is the top goal scorer in the nation.
24 goals in 10 games in the season. This guy's no joke. So they play in the championship. He doesn't start, which
Yeah.
was unusual.
Yeah.
But now after hearing everything after, it's like, okay, makes sense. He's a little jet lag probably.
Yeah. So just jet flying, wheeling, dealing, son of a gun.
Bocan campeones.
But yeah, so they are champions, defeating Escondido FC. Those two teams have gone back and forth. We've been doing commentary for this San Diego Internacional
3
team
seasons
for
already? 3, 4
I wanna say
seasons?
4 seasons, just because we 3 seasons, 3, 4 seasons, just
3
'cause-
full seasons probably.
yeah,
Because then
100%,
COVID kind of like ended things.
Yeah, and we were about to start that. They gave us a little break, and so they let us do commentary on there. We were able to turn that into what we now do for the San Diego Sockers in Spanish. Hopefully, we get to do next season.
San
what we
Diego
do
Loyal.
for the San Diego Loyal.
It's a little different for
Waiting
Loyal,
for
but
Wave.
let's see. Wave, hit us up. Maybe the future MLS.
But yeah, so it was really cool, and we get out there and some of
And
the
it seems like the crowd knows it. It seems like they know what's about to happen. Seconds away for the first San Diego Internacional Championship. The first.
It's a good moment.
star
People are really happy.
yeah. So this team's been around for 10 years, right? Like it was
The referee looks at his
Coach
whistle
Alex
UPSL SoCal South Premier Division champions.
Now, if you know the story behind San Diego Inter, right? They've been a team that were together for this was their 10-year anniversary. They used to play Sunday League, and they did it for fun. And then you know what? They were winning, dominating. They said, you know what? Let's get into the UPSL for something more competitive.
Yeah.
They struggled when it came to coaching. They struggled when it came to players, committing to the team, showing up to practices, showing up to games. Some players were getting older. They ended up landing on Keith Miller, owner of the hangar over in El Cajon, to be their head coach this season and completely turn things around. He just brought in young talent around San Diego that he already knew, probably from the hangar as well. And they started tearing it up this season. It was very different from what we were used to.
Yeah, so they were probably one of the best teams in the nation. They were an incredibly defensive team, and obviously when you have a star like Mark Cruz, who, again, we're seeing him have a tryout or go out into a Liga MX team.
And I don't think we're live, Sonny. Sorry to cut you out.
No?
I don't think we're live.
Oh, okay. Well, seasons of apologies for our Twitch listeners. Stream finished, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
Indubitably.
It'll
we're
go
still,
back
we're
up
still
right now.
streaming
Yeah,
here.
we're still streaming.
It's
Sure. We're still
okay.
recording.
It's okay. It's okay.
No pasa nada.
No
Technical
pasa
difficulties
nada.
all around. What happens when we...
It happens when you set it up, Shiva. No.
Oh, secret. I wouldn't have to set it up
Tres malditos años.
if you answered my FaceTime.
You should have called me, dude. You should have woke me up.
I didn't.
What did you tell the people? That I was away?
I told the people that you fell asleep and you didn't wake up till 10 minutes before we were supposed to go live.
Yeah, I had to.
And I told them that I refused to knock on the door to bother your family,
Okay.
to wake you up, because I shouldn't do that. Because you've told me before that don't bother them.
Yeah, don't bother him, Shiva. Why are you trying to bother my family?
No, so I was ready to do a solo episode. Would have been
You
like
should've.
30 minutes. Would have probably been done by now.
We'll stop streaming here.
Oh, we're not streaming anymore.
Then we're gonna start streaming. We're gonna select. This is something that we've been doing this for 3 years, and every single Monday for the past time. Like,
I think we got to the point where before, if something like this happened, you would panic. You're like, oh my God. Now you're like, well, let's fix it real quick and get back on it.
I'm not. Season greetings. We are back, but so San Diego Internacional. Just being that team, other than your girlfriend's favorite soccer team, but it's a really cool story because it's literally like something my dad used to do. And with Zurdo, it was he. Zurdo, he used to be a player. He's a very important member of this family, this team.
Mm-hmm.
His dad pretty much put a team together to, to continue playing as an adult, and he funded it, and he brought all his friends, and they were having a great time. Obviously, they phase out, the knees start, wearing, and then they kept it going. So it really truly is like a little family, and very good people, and it's hardworking individuals that have been at this, and finally they get the glory of the championship here in their 10th anniversary in the UPSL SoCal South Premier Division. They will be going into the Nationals Saturday at 3 p.m. at Mission Bay High School.
So check that out.
Against Delfines, some other best team in an area. So
in their own division, so they get a home match, home field advantage.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
yeah.
It's round of 32, so let's see if they're able to move on to the round of 16. So
Yeah, and I mean, this is the pathway to, facing San Diego Loyal in Open Cup. You can face Albion in Open Cup. Like, this is that pathway. So congratulations to SD Internacional, who win 3-0 against Escondido in convincing fashion. It's a really cool story. So I know people who play Bridge Barcata. I know people who know these players, who know this family, know this story, and it's as local as it gets, guys. Like,
for real, it is, and it's a great story,
Yeah.
great team. Big shout out to winning the championship, and it was a lot of fun covering them this season.
Yeah, and so the crazy pain train will continue for everybody in the pathway of SD Inter with John Shelby. They have a guy that looks like Mr. Clean. Maybe that's why Rudy rubs his head for good luck. But shout out to them. 3-0. It's a really good story and really well deserved. But that's what happened here locally. That's the only local team that soccer team that we had. We did coverage for them. At the same time, however, San Diego Wave, it's Snapdragon Stadium, the Snapdragon, was facing against OL Reign. OL Reign being that team as well.
It's their Oakland roots.
Yeah, it's their Oakland roots, and they just haven't been able to figure it out. They have not been able to figure out OL Reign. They've never beaten this team in their existence. Granted, San Diego Wave's only been alive for
Second season.
season and a half now, but they've played them a couple times in Challenge Cup and two different versions of Challenge Cup. They played them in the NWSL. And they just can't seem to.
It was also their Pride Night. It was also the farewell for the national team call-ups going to the World Cup.
Yes.
Which is Naomi Girma, Alex Morgan,
Surprisingly,
Jenna Sheridan, and
yes.
Jacob. So,
And,
Jacobson.
it was supposed to be 3, perhaps, with the omission of one, Taylor Korniak. But I guess that bodes well for San Diego.
I mean, coming back from an injury, sometimes it's a missed opportunity, obviously, right? If you're Korniak, she's probably very frustrated because it's keeping her from going to a World Cup.
Yeah.
She's getting back into it now. But, again, if she was healthy the whole way through, she probably would have also been a player in that list.
So, yes.
Starting lineup right here, right?
Yes, started lineup against OL Reign. And again, it's the last game before you lose some of these important players. Sheridan, Girma, McNabb, Kaylee Reel, Westfall, Van Egman coming back into that midfield. Very important, but still not 100%, I think. Calaprico, which is that midfield that you essentially want. Shaw, Daughtery, Howard, Doniak, and Capitana Alex Morgan. Pride Night, as you were saying, shout out to all the Sirens, the Cove over at 109, who had a little cool display here. All are welcome.
Nope.
Very well done. There's a little image right there. But essentially,
I mean,
you know what?
You don't want to be able to, win the game, essentially. But you start out losing in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Bethany Balser just scoring in the 8th minute. And again, it just goes to the marking sometimes when it comes to defense. It's not on Naomi Girma. That's on Kaylee Reel. Just completely missed the mark. And it happens sometimes. We've seen it a lot for San Diego Wave where their marking, especially in set pieces, lacks a lot. And this time it was just a cross, first touch, and just caught her off guard and completely just got beat.
Yeah, whenever that ball bounces inside the area, so close to the small box, it's going to be
There's no need
trouble.
for the ball to bounce. If you're a center back, once the ball bounces, you're in trouble. Like, you shouldn't let that be anywhere near there.
Yeah, and if it does bounce, you better be the first one to it, right? Because then obviously this doesn't happen. Sheridan maybe should have waited a little bit to start running to her right. Otherwise, she would have just been standing there and just caught the ball in her hands. Either way, that's a OL Reign 1-0, and we start already with a deficit. And, I mean, it's been a challenge for SD Wave to be able to muster some offense up. They've not been the best at creating plays. Sometimes they just rely on that individual talent, right? Mm-hmm. And so we do see that individual talent hated by a cast of others. But then you can't just rely on one player. That's the Chelsea method when Eden Hazard was there. Like
when your only shot on target is your goal out of 8 shots, then that tells you there's a problem.
Yeah, as you see Alex Morgan here over on the right-hand side with that magical left, Shaw all alone and doing what she's been doing.
And
all
if we're
season.
being honest, San Diego Wave is very lucky that Jaden Shaw wasn't called up because she has been a crucial part of this team. But imagine that. You get her called up, you lose Morgan and Jaden Shaw, who have been very key when it comes to most of your goals this season. Yeah, you have Doniak and Breedy that sometimes get on the scoring sheet. But for the majority of the part, it's Alex Morgan and Jaden Shaw doing a lot of the workload on top. So it's going to be, I see it very difficult for them to be able to get results and be able to be dominant once the World Cup kicks off. But again, Jaden Shaw, 18 years old, the talent that she possesses is incredible. She's literally what's next for the U.S. women's national team.
Yeah, and she wasn't let go into the under 20s national team. That was something that Casey was very adamant about.
Yeah.
That, you know what, she feels she wasn't ready. She wasn't able to loan her because of how important she was to the team. But in essence, like, you can't rely again on that one player doing everything for you. Which we'll see, right? Maybe you can. We'll see how these next games unfold because you don't have a choice. Alex Morgan is now off. She takes a lot of the focus.
Who expressed that she feels very calm that it's her fourth World Cup. It's the first one as a mother, and she expressed that in the press conference as well. I mean, good for her, right? Go on and win the World Cup. I mean, man, San Diego is really gonna need her back.
Yeah. So, is she gonna need for if she's gonna have that need for she as Casey Stoney to somebody to step up, it's gonna have to be pretty soon. You know, we've seen Sierra Angie this season be able to get in there, get a goal, play a different position.
You're gonna
here
rely
and there.
a lot of your other players like Amira Ali, Jaden Shaw, obviously, to step up. I think Amira Ali is going to be crucial. You're really going to need Kelsey Turnbull to step it up. Coming back from injury, you're going to really need her. Then eventually you fall on the 77th minute, getting the second goal from the same player, Bethany Balser. And then Kaylin Sheridan gets a red. But again, like, it's the marking, it's the headers, a lot for San Diego Wave when it comes to defending that. And then Kaylin Sheridan got a red also in the 91st minute.
Yeah, so obviously it seems like a topic of discussion for this San Diego Wave side. And I mean, you see it here, right? So Sheridan getting herself into trouble. And so technically, right, this is kind of what happens. The OL player is very happy, very pleased with herself. Here's her yellow card. But
Check
that
VAR.
Exactly. So that's the technology that they have at their disposal in the NWSL. And it's like, nope, not a yellow. She's like, oh, okay, but here's the red. Why? Last person. Last person. That was a clear goal scoring opportunity. But man,
and it's a mistake from Sheridan, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, and she knows what she did, and she's like, "How is that a foul?" But at this point, you can't be surprised on that. To be honest, doesn't really matter anymore because the next game that she would play or miss, she's off to the World Cup. So
the suspension counts, yeah. So
it counts.
exactly.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, great save from Giannis there on the free kick. That would have been terrible, but 9 minutes added. I mean, that just tells you the amount of time that VAR took place in. But eventually, you lose another home game, another key game, and then you were mentioning that Casey Stoney essentially said that they were robbed.
Yeah, so we'll hear some Casey Stoney audio here post match, and again, not happy with this outcome. Here's Casey Stoney.
Open up with a statement and then we'll open it up for questions.
Extremely proud of my team tonight. I thought we played very well. We were robbed. So, yeah, like I can't obviously speak highly enough of my team. I thought they played well, created chances, defended well. So much better than last week. A huge response, and they deserve a hell of a lot better.
When you say robbed, is there a specific moment from the officiating, or was that just an overall?
I get fines here, so I'm gonna stay still.
And it's been 5 matches since San Diego's seen a home win, but the crowd is still so invested and so into it. Can you speak a little bit to?
Shout out to Abraham Cepeda for those
Tough questions. Yeah,
100%.
tough questions.
He's the boy's going into his own. I like it.
What it means to have this?
Yeah, and I hope our crowd are really proud of us tonight because my team didn't lose the game. It wasn't them that lost the game. So, yeah, we were a bit naive when we went down to 10, when we were not allowed to make a sub, when we should have been allowed to make a sub for someone that got fouled. We didn't get the foul. Then we take the player off because they're injured, because they've been fouled. We can't make the sub. So we're a bit naive at that point. We need to recognise that and drop into like a 4-4-1 and do better there. But yeah, I hope our crowd was really proud of us tonight. We had a good go. We created chances. We fought. It's the best I've seen us compete. It's the best I've seen us play against Reign in the time we've been in existence. So to come away with nothing is bitterly disappointing. The players deserve more. But yeah, that's
It's, you know what, like, just stop complaining. Stop blaming the ref.
Mm-hmm.
Stop blaming the ref.
Okay.
Fix your marking on those goals.
Yeah.
Like, you can't stop. Refs are gonna make mistakes all the time. Like, that's what it is. And if you feel personally attacked by the referee, then there's something that should be done. Like,
Yeah. No, I mean,
behind
if
the
there is
scenes,
something to be done, 100%. Yeah. Do
but
it.
at the end of the
Let's
day,
work
like
on it.
what we have seen, 8 shots, 1 on target, that still doesn't, like, you need to score goals to win the games.
Yeah.
You're not going to win the games by
Hot take.
the referees like not letting us make a sub and not letting us sub off a red card and blah blah blah. Like, no. You need to score goals to win your games. So when you're only scoring 1 from 8 shots, that's not enough.
Yeah. I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
I'm very like, I don't like, people can get upset and everything, but I'm tired of people always defending their team. So when it comes to San Diego, or when it comes to San Diego Wave, saying like, no, like the team got robbed or anything like that, blah blah blah. Like, no. Like, I mean, we're wants to call out our own teams. Real soccer fans call out their own teams when they're on their bullshit and they're not playing well, and that's what it is. And I'm not gonna treat them any differently because Casey Stoney is saying that they got robbed. I'm like, no, that's not what it is. We're tough on San Diego Loyal when they're not playing with how they should be doing. We're gonna be tough on San Diego Wave as well. And the truth is, they've been playing like shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's undeniable how that has gone down from being the first place team. Now, if you look at the standings, right, you're down all the way into the 6th spot.
Like, you're literally 2 points away from a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
that's not what this paper is. Like, what this team on paper is. This team is stacked with talent. Literally, what people told us from the team or anything, like, oh no, this team got even better.
Yeah, and we really haven't seen it so far. Again, it's a very competitive league. Here you have 25 points with Portland Thorns. You're, essentially 5 points out, 2 games. If everybody loses, if everybody has a bad skid, and anything can happen in these next couple weeks. There is Challenge Cup in the middle of it. But
you're losing your main players for a month.
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna be very tough for San Diego Wave, and I really hope they're able to turn it around without these players and they get some results. Like, I really, really hope so. That would be the best thing for them. If by the end of the World Cup they're able to still stay in the top 6, that would be huge. If they get in playoffs with all their players, then they can still make damage. But right now, the way they're playing, the way they're producing on offense, I hardly see them making playoffs.
Hot
takes.
Hot takes. I do get the celebratory nature of the goals and Jaden Shaw scoring a fantastic goal, but I mean, win, like, it makes it look like you won.
I mean, you tied the game early in the second half, so you celebrated. You're not gonna rush to get the ball. I get that, but I mean, social media, if you lose, you can't be posting stuff like.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like, I mean, that bothers me too. I know that bothers you too. Like,
yeah.
if you lose the game, like, stop posting highlights saying, oh, like,
be real about
killing it and this and that. Like, no, you still lost the freaking game. Like, show us practice videos of them upset or anything like that. That would make it even better. But again, I mean, that's other people's jobs, and I mean, they still produce great content. Not gonna say they don't, but.
I mean, the content's there. It's just whoever chooses it to be thrown up there.
So,
but San Diego Wave does lose in this effort. I mean, if you really want to talk about it, like, look, 2014 World Cup, Brazil. If the play hadn't gone this way, if the play hadn't gone that way, if Arjen Robben wouldn't have gone and dove, and Mexico wouldn't have gotten a penalty against. Mexico was on the forefront. They would have won that game against the Netherlands.
No, I
They would have
get it.
moved
I get
on.
it being
They would
robbed.
have moved on, and they would have won the World Cup.
They
We
would
were
beat
robbed the
Costa
World
Rica.
Cup.
They would,
Yeah,
yeah.
we would have won a World Cup.
So we
can't
get it about
really
being
get.
robbed. You can't.
can't get into those nitty gritty details. Like
Yeah.
in the second minute, there was this because how far back does that go? Is there truth to what she's saying? Absolutely.
Yeah, for
Casey's
sure.
right, 100%. And we've been proponents of like, yeah, no, that's BS. Like they need to fix this, but take some responsibility.
Oh, for sure.
And hopefully, I mean, these
Stop babying your players too with the
coddling.
Stop it with the. I'm so proud of them. They didn't lose. No. They lost this game.
Yeah, you can be proud of them.
You can, but
and
be
lose the
critical
game.
about it.
Exactly. Like that's all we ask.
Now,
And-
if
and-
that's what she's going to do in the press conference, say I'm really proud of my team, but then on the locker room, just say we need to get our shit together, and you're doing the tough love behind
And you're-
the press
yeah,
conference,
yeah.
then by all means, great.
But we need to see the results of that.
For sure.
The results of that need to be seen. You can go ahead and check out the watch party here for San Diego Wave for this upcoming Wednesday matchup. It's going to be a Wednesday Challenge Cup. Let's test. There we go. It's going to be at June 28th at 7:30 p.m. for kickoff. Get there early. I know these Wave games do get packed when it comes to watch parties. So check them out. The Sirens will be out there. The Cove and everybody will be out and about. So
Then they also play Saturday.
Yes.
NWSL match away against Chicago Red Stars. So support, be out there.
Clientes.
I mean, if you're flying out to Chicago, dope. Chicago. I mean, I've always been to visit, but one day.
one day.
Yeah, San Diego Wave not off on a great run. But speaking of teams that are also disappointing their fan bases, San Diego Loyal on their first away match of 4, a long stretch, pretty much a month of away matches. Play against the Trenecitos Chuchus.
Yeah, so planes, trains, and San Diego Loyal losses here. Pittsburgh Riverhounds is a really good team right now in the East, one of the few
Yeah.
really good teams in the East. They were second place, and they've been playing rather well. We had Alan talk about a little bit of what's going on with them and how they've been able to, get points from teams in difficult situations. This is a difficult situation for them. It took, a second half for San Diego Loyal to be absolutely flat, to come in and, essentially give up another set of points. Like you give up an extra point here.
And we talked about it in the first half. They weren't playing, like, Pittsburgh was playing better in the first half. And it was a breakaway play from Adrian Perez, who got his second 2 games in a row. Great pass from Camden Riley, right?
Yeah.
On the right wing side, if you want to show the goal, if you're able to pull it up.
Yeah.
But
Give me a quick second. Well, let's talk about
the lineups. Yeah, my bad. I'm getting ahead of
Yeah, you
myself.
are getting
Lineup.
ahead.
we did Viva Match Day
sir.
for this game.
Yeah, so we were there.
live on Twitter.
Check that out.
Check it out whenever we get to go.
It's on YouTube. I just didn't rename it.
A bunch of numbers or what?
Yeah, it's a bunch of numbers. But yeah, so
It's
you
a
have
good lineup.
Yeah. I mean, as far as San Diego Loyal goes, right?
Yeah.
So you have Coque Vega, Stillman, Kyle Adams, Riley, Corona and Guido, the Los Amigos, Los Compas coming back into that midfield. Moon, Bodley, Perez, Collier, and Conway. The Guido with the captain armband was short-lived. We saw Guido coming out very early in the match, later on in the first half, but coming off early with what seemed to be a hamstring injury. He knew exactly what it was, and it's one thing that's been plaguing him.
See.
And it's those injuries once again, and not the ideal place and time for his hammy to.
He was just
not
coming
hammy,
back
the
to
thigh.
being in form. He was
Yeah.
literally, so hopefully
El
it's
muslo.
not a big injury. But yeah, I mean, it sucked. Yeah, Nick Moon as well. I mean, attacking power was there as well. Ronaldo didn't get minutes. Again, was kind of knocked up in the last game 10 days ago.
Yeah, and we
But-
pointed it out because he did go off on a cart at the last home game. Where you asked Coach Miller,
Like,
"Hey,
is
does that
this
worry you?"
worrisome?
He's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, that's pretty, yeah." He was pretty honest.
Yeah.
So Riley coming in hot and getting himself a yellow card.
Jugó bien, eh? for him to adapt to a right
He's-
back
yeah.
position, he didn't do too bad.
He's honestly for me. He's probably the MVP of this season so far, just in terms of like adaptability and growth. Is you've been able to play him in various. Yeah,
He's the guy, llegas al domingo con el coach.
Yeah.
So Sunday, ¿dónde juegas, mijo? Donde me quieras, coach.
wherever you
Hasta de
need me,
portero
coach.
si quieres. Wherever you need me, coach. I'll play. Just put me in there. That's literally Camden Riley.
Put me in
I
there,
still
coach.
need to see his
Take me
goal
on there,
because
coach.
we all want to see the celebration he is planning.
And if we don't get it, I'm gonna ask him to just do it for us because it would be
sure.
unfair to take it away from the eyes of the fans of San Diego Loyal. But essentially, San Diego Loyal does play well in the first half. Like they played well. Guido does come out. Colin Martin goes in unexpectedly. Necessarily, maybe he wasn't expecting going in that early. Probably not. But in the first half, you have essentially Camden Riley linking up with Adrian Perez. Camden Riley here starting the play. Like he starts the play with a fantastic pass. Lays it off here for Adrian Perez, who
It's that
destroys.
off-the-ball movement that
Yeah.
just destroys that defender, right? Like, touches it with his right foot, runs around him, se lo lleva, cuts in. The ball's kind of like bouncing, so it's a little weird shot that elevates. But it's a great goal. Man, the English commentary
That
was
sounded
fucking garbage.
I'm gonna go look for hours. Like that
Holy
was
shit.
terrible. Let's hear this. That's oh my goodness.
Two options with the Moon moving from the left wing back role. Perez still with it. Left-footed shot is in. A solo effort.
I apologize. Anybody that watched this away match in this
The entire
commentary,
watch party.
you guys are fake because this man's goal celebrations are 10 times better.
Well, they're not fake. Sorry guys, we're not saying you're fake.
No, the watch party.
Oh yeah. You guys aren't fake. No fake there. At some point, I stopped giving a crap and stopped putting the whole.
You put the whole game,
I
right?
just put the whole game instead of the
But
little
yeah,
bar.
we were on live streaming it, so.
Se imaginan.
Oh, it is in Spanish, so. Viva Match Day.
Viva Match Day.
The greatest ability is availability. That is correct.
Who said that?
Jeffrey Abramovich.
Jeffrey Abramovich,
The boy.
winner for the San Diego Loyal hat, winner of the Black Lives Matters hat. But all right, so here's the call. 47, 57? 47, 57. Let's see if I can link it up.
I mean, it shows the video from the video.
Yeah, but está bien para la
Ah,
madre.
yeah, okay, I get it.
Bro. Ugh,
Backstop.
what is this?
Beaten by Riley. He's on the
Riley
yellow card.
beating the guy. All right, so
41-36. It's 41-37. Pretty close enough.
all right, ready?
Yeah, start the other one first.
Let's start the other one
Oh,
first.
mute it.
Oh, yes.
Mute that.
All right, we go here, and then we go.
Rojo, the big red machine.
Ah, no.
When Camden Riley
Qué
queda
bien aquí, se viene Adrián Pérez por la banda derecha.
Se
Va a sacar el
perfila.
disparo, tiro, golazo. Close enough. But we're not fans.
Adrián Pérez con el tiro que le gana.
Que le gana. No, todas las ganas tenías. Again, we're not professionals, but we're getting there. We're trying. Thank you, San Diego Loyal, for letting us do this opportunity with the Viva Match Day Twitter Spaces.
Oh, I cut you off. I'm sorry. You were about to go off. But yeah, so
It's all good.
That was a call we had.
I mean, that was pretty much all they
The action that happened.
offered.
in the first half. That
In the
was it because it was
first
a
half.
painful first half. We were
Painful second half.
counting the amount of cars and the train behind them. It's a really cool stadium.
San Diego Loyal did have the most of the possession as they do in most of their matches. Over 500 passes, 77% pass accuracy. Lots of fouls in this game. 3 yellow cards for San Diego Loyal. But at the end of the day, you weren't taking advantage of your opportunities. They weren't
Yeah.
producing anything on top. They were risking the ball way too much in the back.
Yeah, Coque Vegas was having a weird game. Like he's been having
The
a
whole
couple
back
of-
line, the second half, really.
Yeah.
And it's just stuff that was very risky that just eventually cost you to lose this game.
Yeah, so essentially what ended up happening is here, Coque Vegas, usually very short
Like, wait, reviéntala.
footed. He needed to get rid of the ball, slips. This ball gets cleared out. Fantastic. Toomey should have been
Lose
there.
lose
Foul
it
him.
again. But then they Koke clears that out from the first start. Boom. There's nothing. None of this happens.
Yeah. And
Cholazo.
so it's a really,
Like, the
really
back
good goal.
heel
Back
is
heel.
nice, class. But again, if Koke kicks that out before he slips, before he second guesses it, this would have not happened. I am curious to see.
But the call?
Yeah, in English.
Oh.
Forbes, low pass. Finds Ibarra. Low one in, showing me. Oh, what a finish. Scoops it in with the inside
Fucking
of
whack.
his foot.
I'm sorry.
Hey, we were.
There's no passion. There's no passion.
Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not saying ours is amazing,
It's not. But
but there's passion.
there's passion, there is vision, there is everything that we need.
Are we gonna need new ones?
I've been telling you that we've been needing new headphones for years.
headphones. Yes, yeah, headphones. Yeah. And then again, you don't learn from this, and you keep risking the ball back there. I really do think Nate Miller gave the team a piece of his mind, especially his backline and Koke, because they were risking the ball way too much in the back. Like, it was unnecessary, to the point where you knew Pittsburgh goal was gonna happen.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time. Like they were mounting on that momentum that they had.
Sam, we're not gonna blame the turf here. Koke and turf just don't mix. Let's not blame the turf. The turf doesn't give you your decision making.
Well,
it doesn't impact it.
I mean, if that's the case, right, then it just means that he has weakness as turf. He needs to work on the turf. He needs to make sure that that's something he addresses. But look, it's another one of those things, right? Like, how far back do you want to go when it comes to these goals, when it comes to these victories? Like, had this not happened, had that not happened, had this not happened. Look, had Evan Conway played anywhere as well as we know he can play,
man, he did not
we
play
saw
good
Evan
either.
Conway at the end of the match just sitting down, just with his like hands on his knees and just
knows
like,
it was a bad
oh my
game.
god, like he knows, yeah, he knows, and good, like that's what we like to see. Is taking that ownership, taking that responsibility, making sure that it's you're putting that pressure on yourself because.
sure.
Look, man, Ronaldo Damas, if you really want to talk about it, if we're talking about strikers, right? If you give me a choice right now of Ronaldo being 100% and Evan Conway being 100%, I'm sorry, Evan. Like, you might have to go back and play, defender again for rotation
Wing back,
purposes.
sorry.
But then you have a coach, Nate Miller here, who, again, played against a very good home team. They were 5 victories
They're
to
first
the
place
1
in the
loss.
East now.
First
so-
place in the East. You've another tough matchup. You played Sacramento. You played this.
Yeah,
Plays that.
but before that, I even mentioned on the Viva Match Day, right? They were going back and forth, and for Pittsburgh to be the best team in the East right on paper right now on the table, just goes to show how competitive the West is. I can tell you right now that the winner of the USO this season again will be another team from the Western Conference. I'm willing to bet whatever it is, however much, that is going to be a team from the Western Conference. There's no way any team from the Eastern Conference gets a championship this year.
bold take there.
I don't even
Chia,
think it's
but,
that
I mean,
bold. I'll ask Alan right now. Alan wasn't able to join us today. Day off for him, but I'll ask him. Like, it's gonna be from the West, right? I'm sure he'll agree with me, but he'll hesitate. Well, you
I
know,
like that, Jeffrey. No passion from the commentator. For lots of mullets in the crowd and TV. It's a winning city, Pittsburgh. You got Los Acederos de Pittsburgh, Los Pingüinos de Pittsburgh, Los Piratas de Pittsburgh, who are doing pretty good in the MLB. And I'm tired of Toomey, says Sam. No le pone huevos, juega con la lentitud, sin ganas, bro. So again, talking about that tenacity, Toomey is not being seen. We haven't seen Toomey be the best version of Toomey since that year two.
The most positive thing I can probably take from this game is that Charlie Adams got minutes
100%.
because man, that team needs him
Yeah.
badly. So
He's the one that pulls the strings now, especially with Guido down. You don't know
I
how
don't
long
even
he's going to
think
be out.
I don't even think Joe played a bad game. I think Joe
No?
played
Yeah.
a really good game
Yeah.
as well, based on the position he was at. I think Colin
Colin-
Martin had a very bad game.
Shocking. Yes,
Like,
a little
making
I haven't
a lot
seen
of
him have a bad day.
mistakes. I get it. Maybe you didn't get the best warm up. You had to come in like a little cold, but I mean, no excuses, right? When it comes to the team, they didn't play good at all. But let's hear from Nate Miller real quick, right?
Nate the Great.
Disappointed to lose the game late. That's not good enough on that set play. Guys just need to step up in those moments. We need to make those little plays to come to places like this to get 3 points. This team's undefeated at home, so you have to be watertight in every defensive situation. So very frustrated to lose that game late.
Talk about the next week, staying out here. What's important to be successful next week?
Well, look, I think this is a very difficult team, and I think we played for a large majority of the game a very good game. I think for large majorities, we took the game to them. We turned the ball over in a couple areas that we shouldn't, and we have to be better. As far as the Indy game, look, we just finished this game. We're going to head to Indy. We're going to train there and look for another good performance. Look, we're in the hardest stretch of our season right now, so I expect there to be little dips, but not like that. We have to be better defensively in the second half.
I mean, what did Alan and I agree on, right? After this stretch of difficult games, if they still stay in the top 8, they can manage to come back, have a comeback and climb up the ladder to the top 4 again, because it will get a little easier. But you also have to have the fitness. And you have to worry about next week because it's a revenge game for Jack Blake.
Revenge game for Jack Blake. We'll have to check with my resident USL expert, Alan Underwood, to see how that's going for them. I think they're an okay team. Like, they're not necessarily
They're
world
7th
beaters right
place,
now.
so in a way, they're doing similar as San Diego Loyal. 19 points, 5 wins, 4 ties, 6 losses, 17 goals in favor, 17 against. So I can see it in a tie. I can see it going either way.
I can see it in your
It all depends if Guido's available. It all depends if Charlie Adams is fit enough to play the full 90 minutes. But I do think Loyal can pull off a victory unless Jack Blake just starts firing rockets and scores like 2 goals like he's done against Phoenix for San Diego Loyal before, and that makes the big difference. But I'm going to stay optimistic, Tony. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw.
That's optimistic as a 2-2 draw against a 7th-place team in the East. Okay. Look, their home record is 1-3-3, 1 win, 3 ties, 3 losses. Not the best, so it's very doable. Indy 11 here.
They're better on the road, man.
Nate Miller going back to his home roots as well. So, I don't know, man. Like
I'm going based
show me who's
on
going to be.
the
Show me
players
who's going to
available.
be. Like exactly who the lineup is going to be. Who's available. Who's going to be fit. Guido, I don't see him playing this next game.
Hopefully it's not that bad, but again, the team
like,
the team
Ronaldo,
doesn't
that's what they need.
release
They need
anything.
Ronaldo because if he's not out there, then you just need to
You're
give
relying
another
on
option
Evan Conway
over
or Collier to be the biggest difference. And if Charlie Adam is fit and Conway can start, then we've seen that connection, and you talked about that connection that they had early in the season, right?
Yeah.
So if that's the case and that's what you're going to rely on, then hopefully they're both Charlie Adams is fully fit, because that's going to be a big key factor.
Yes, the turf here isn't the best. Going back to Seattle's Open Cup, says Sam, for that Skoke Vegas play. Yeah, no, it's true.
Que nunca le juegan a Cholos entonces, en casa.
Yeah, La Coca Champions,
7-0.
bro. But yeah, so San Diego is, I don't know, they're in for it. San Diego will have a good
It's the
stretch of
first
games
of 4
here.
games, so I mean, a tie would have been nice against Pittsburgh. A win
mean,
would have been nice, but
I think they're going to win against Indy 11. Like, it's just
Okay.
going to be a win, but
wow, that's very optimistic.
it is, and because I know they can, and it's just me being hopeful at that point, and
Yeah,
I
think they are the
and
better
realistic
team
too. They are the better team. They should, on paper, they should win this. They should win this. Then they would go.
If you're able to put up a fight against the best team in the East, actually, you should be able to beat
Yeah.
the 7th place in the East. But again, I'm going just based on like the injuries that they had, the way they looked. I'm gonna go with a draw, which at the end of the day is not the worst, but a win would be obviously a lot better for San Diego Loyal.
Yeah, 3 points in their last 5 games for Loyal. Not the best. They do have, quote unquote, an easier stretch. These next 2 games, Indy 11, Hartford, who just let go of their coach.
Only 2 wins in the season, so
So
you better win
these
that
next
game.
2 games, you should get at least 4 points.
at least.
In theory, right?
At least,
In
'cause then-
theory. If at minimum, give me 2 points, but something, right? San Diego travels to Hartford, then they go and play against Colorado Switchbacks, and that next week right after should have been the game back against Switchbacks, but they put in some postponement magic, just kind of some revenge from last year. Switchbacks kept postponing.
So now they postponed
now
it so
they
they can
postponed
play Dortmund on
Borussia Dortmund.
Thursday, July 27th.
If Evan Conway scores like a hat trick, I'm gonna be pissed against Dortmund. Like, ¿qué pedo, güey? Like, let's.
He se lo lleva a Dortmund.
Does Dortmund take him? Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
That'd be cool, though. That'd be cool. But yeah, so we shall see what happens with San Diego Loyal. You were predicting a win. I'm predicting a tie.
Así es.
Pero bueno, la Lamborghini.
La Lamborghini.
Gold Cup is underway y la selección se ve. It's looking better than ever with Jimmy Lozano, interim head coach. I put it on my story with the song Súbete a mi moto.
Yeah.
Oh, you kiss I Lamborghini. Okay.
You ever heard that song?
I have not actually, but I don't know if it'll get copyrighted.
Lamborghini.
But dude, that's the beauty about like Mexican fans, right? The shit they come up with, la cadeneta, la Lamborghini, like there's always something. But it is this Jimmy Lozano. I'm very hyped because Jimmy Lozano is the coach I wanted.
Everybody wanted
before Coca. I wanted him. A lot of people did want him. You want him as well, but he didn't want the position. Somehow agreed to be the interim, and hopefully he likes it. I think the way Mexico played, yes, it's Honduras, but you should be beating Honduras like this.
Yeah.
Like if you play with Coca the way they were playing, they would have struggled maybe 1-0, 2-1. Like the way they were playing before. So you can tell the players are even more about Jimmy Lozano, which is great. I mean, you score in the first minute.
Luis Romo.
Para que Luis Romo te clave 2 goles, like.
Yeah, you have to be pretty
Shit.
terrible.
I talked to that guy in person.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Hey, maybe he got inspired by it. He's like, I
Yeah,
cannot
100%.
let Chiva down.
Yeah, can't let Chiba from 2 balls and a mic down. This was the old Luis Romo. He looked like the old self that was Europe bound, but then sold out to Monterrey. But again, they played a lot better. There were some misses that you're like, really? Edson Alvarez as a center back looked a lot better than as a defensive mid. And that's the way he's been playing at Ajax. He's been playing at the center back role. So, I mean, other than that, like, I mean, it's a basic, like, what Mexico should be all about. 17 shots, 6 shots on target, 55% possession. Like, I mean, I caught the second half. We couldn't really watch the first half. We were doing Inter. But you look at the start line, you have Ochoa, Jorge Sanchez, Edson Alvarez. Johan Vasquez back in the starting lineup after expressing, like, yeah, I'm upset I'm not getting the minute. I'm playing in Italy. Yeah, I'm not in one of the top teams, but like,
Still a European
come on.
player. Yeah.
Gallardo still in the lineup, whatever. Like, Luis Romo, Luis Chavez, Eric Sanchez, solid midfield. Luis Romo questionable, but he scored 2 goals. Uriel Antuna still somehow making the starting lineup. Something about Antuna in the selección that coaches really like, and I think it's the speed. But fuck, I'm tired of him.
So does this fix? Is Mexico fixed? Like people were asking to boycott them.
They have to win the
World Cup.
Yeah,
We have to win the World Cup.
They
Yes,
have
we
to
do.
win
I
the
agree.
Gold Cup, especially with the U.S. with the B team, and we'll trash the U.S. right now in a little bit too. But they have to dominate the whole Gold Cup and just win it, and then hope for the best that Jimmy Lozano is willing to take the official job. Because I want the next coach to be Mexican. I want someone that knows the players, that knows the league, that has experience, that the players respect. Stop bringing some like extranjero that the players don't know, the players don't really like know his style. Bring someone that knows these players. So that's my take with Mexico. I don't know if you have anything else. I know you're like getting familiar with a lot of the new generation of talent.
I mean, que le echen ganas because clearly I saw a very flat Mexico side lose against the U.S. But it, you know, this is an opportunity to bounce back. You get some scores, some goals in. You get some confidence back up, right? Yeah, it's Honduras. Yeah, it's this, and it's might not be your dad's Honduras, which were pretty tough pretty tough. With Pescadito Gomez, like it's been a while since Honduras has had a competitive side, but I mean, if you're the king of CONCACAF, where you say you are, this is what you have to do. This is what you have to really keep doing is showing that. And
is there excuses for the U.S. to tie against Jamaica with the B team?
I think you just said it, B team. Like
I mean, is it an excuse to be? I mean, at the end of the day, you still have talent like Sandejas. You have Jetlin, Turner on goal. You have the boy from Chula Vista, Brandon Vasquez, coming in as a sub and scoring the tying goal late in the game. But
giving up a goal here on the set piece.
You know
good
what?
Set piece,
You
good
know what's
corner, good cross.
worrisome? That if the U.S. don't finish top of the group, we're not gonna get to see much Snapdragon. We're gonna see whoever finishes top in that group.
Hey, it's
Vamos a ver a
Gold Cup
Trinidad y
credential.
Tobago, vato.
Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, I mean, it better be Mexico or the U.S.
Someone that's a U.S. national fan, just let me know. Hit us up on Twitter and be like, I mean, you know what? It is the B team. Mexico used to do this all the time, sending the B team, but they would still win it.
Yeah. Yeah, now we send our A team and can't, but, you know, we'll see.
We'll see now, but
Matt Turner stopping a penalty there, and, you know, it could have been
Could've been a lot
worse.
worse.
Could have been worse for the U.S. Pretty bad penalty, good save. But eventually this game does go down.
No, y Martinique le ganó a El Salvador.
Yeah, no, anything can happen. This is a wacky throw. Qatar is in the Gold Cup. Like,
No, pero perdió contra Haití, vato.
I know, but like Qatar is in the Gold
I
Cup.
know,
Like
I
what?
know. They were in the last Gold Cup too.
87th minute, 88th minute to get that tie.
And,
Let's
and
do
the boy in Cincinnati has been tearing it up. I mean, not gonna say that I've been keeping up, but I see 619 Soccer. Shout out 619 Soccer.
and
Always posting him. The boy from Chula Vista. There's a big tournament for him, just because he wants to prove that he can be in that A team. So he's on the road to go to the World Cup, and I mean, a boy from Chula Vista would just maybe try to reach out Cincinnati. Hey, can we try to get this boy? And
Speaking of, I need to follow up with Austin FC.
Austin, interview with
CJ Fodry.
Fodry coming up.
Coming up. Bit of a update on what it's like is the MLS lad from San Diego over in Austin FC, former San Diego Loyal, former San Diego Loyal Select. San Diego being represented in the soccer world in very, very positive ways. But I mean, the Gold Cup is an important tournament. Nobody other than the U.S. and Mexico has ever won it.
Costa Rica hasn't?
Nope.
Damn.
Nope. They have
We
not.
lost today against Panama.
Yeah, so right now the standings are as such. Trinidad and Tobago, Tobago first place. The USA in second, tied with Jamaica and
who?
Saint Kitts and Nevis. Have you ever heard of this team?
No, actually.
Saint Kitts and Nevis.
¿Dónde? ¿Del Caribe?
I mean, it has to be in the Caribbean. Yeah, let's look at the maps here. Okay, it's an isla, a little island there. Okay, where are we? Pitelanguila, next to the British Virgin Islands. All right. Wow.
La isla, la madre, güey.
Wow.
No se ve. Arre. Cool.
Dope. Invited to the biggest
They lost
tournament.
3-0 against Trinidad and Tobago. So in Group E, we have Mexico in first place, Haiti in second place, Qatar in third, Honduras dead last. Mexico is going to play Haiti Thursday, June 29, 7 p.m. This upcoming Thursday for first against second place for a chance to lead Group B in the Gold Cup.
I hope they lose. I hope Mexico second, so we can see them here.
Would that be the case?
Right?
I don't know if that's...
There's
no,
a way
'cause-
Mexico plays in San Diego. There's a way. I know there is. I think there is. Hope there
I'll
is.
have to check. I don't think there was, but Martinique, first place. Never thought I'd say that in my life. But Panama,
over
second
Panama,
place.
over legacy Gold Cup teams, Panama, Costa Rica, and El Salvador.
That's wild, yeah.
And then Canada next to Cuba, who
play tomorrow.
are better at baseball. Guadalupe, not the Virgin, but the nation of Guadalupe. And Guatemala. Again,
Jeffrey said, I think
Strong
Canada won the
teams.
Gold Cup once.
who Gold Cup winners? I don't think so. Let me see. Gold Cup champions all time. Yep, you're absolutely right. 2000. Puta madre. That graphic I saw was wrong then. I think it was Bleacher Report. Yeah, we just forgot about that. What happened in 2000? 2 years before the 2002 World Cup.
I was
1
30.
year after. Oh, okay.
Fuck.
Sounds good. Gold Cup action
Oh, man.
continues with the matches coming up tomorrow. Canada versus Guadalupe. Guatemala versus Cuba. So again, if you want to watch some riveting CONCACAF Gold Cup action, check it out. The next time that the U.S. plays is going to be on Wednesday against St. Kitts and Nevis. I hope they actually put up a fight somehow against the U.S. Mexico plays Haiti, as you were saying, on Thursday over at Santa Clara here in California, San Francisco, right? Or is that the Phoenix one?
It is.
University of Phoenix Stadium. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
Phoenix.
Phoenix. And then before we come back for the next episode, we have another match between with the U.S. and Mexico. It's going to be USA versus Trinidad and Tobago, Sunday, July the 2nd. Then we're going to have Mexico versus Qatar, the CONCACAF powerhouse of Qatar. Casi le
I
gana.
think it's part of the contract for hosting the World Cup. They invited them, but
Yay.
bring teams like Brazil back and shit like that, where it makes it competitive. But honestly, they would just
They would
destroy
just win.
everyone.
Yeah, they would just win. They would send their C team. But yeah, so they did win it in 2000. So
I don't know if there's anything else.
soccer. Let us know if there's anything you guys would like us to touch on for this Gold Cup action other than Mexico and the USA, because there is going to be a cavalcade of hilarity when it comes to soccer. That just means that there's going to be some bad soccer being played in the Gold Cup. I mean, just Messi's coming. He's still on his way. That guy that traveled 1,000 miles, whatever. Did you see that he was
Yeah,
like,
I
I'm
saw
here
the
to see the
video.
goat Messi emoji.
Está en Argentina, güey. Riquelme just talking to him.
Yeah, Messi's having the time of his life just playing. But yeah.
All the Chelsea selling everyone to Arabia.
Everybody.
So Saudi Arabia getting all these players, but
And Arsenal, yeah.
and Arsenal, yeah. So you guys are
Kai
selling
Havertz.
everyone.
Kai Havertz. I'm going to miss him. But yeah, so it's fantastic. I think that's a good place for us to...
Yeah. Short episode. Alan didn't join us, but again, we'll be back next week with another episode.
Maybe some midweek content. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about San Diego Internacional after this matchup because they do have a national matchup coming up
Keep
at
you guys
Mission Bay High
posted
School.
about Viva Match Day for Saturday as well.
Yep. Sounds good. Season's greetings. Thank you for everybody that was here. You guys are the best. Richard Hudson, real quick. Are Brazil, France, Argentina, Italy, Holland, England, and Ivory Coast in the Gold Cup?
Yeah, they are.
Not
not.
this one.
Not this one. Not this one. Yeah.
They would be really good to have. Again, competition for both the U.S. And Mexico needs to be heightened if we want them to be better in the world stage. So
the
far,
US
the
too
U.S.
now,
is
so-
doing fine. So far, the U.S. is doing fine with
Yeah.
their A team.
BT. Me. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great night.
Seasons.